You're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Sandy, your host, and it is, 18 days away till the end of 2024. Think about that for a minute. Some of you guys have been listening since January 1st. And so we have 18 days left to finish strong. As promised, I'm continuing with our topic yesterday about why we make bad decisions. This time around, we're going to look at some very practical steps, decision-making frameworks that we can incorporate into how we make decisions so that we can make great decisions every single time. The bottom line is that decisions shape our lives. That is a fact. So if you learn how to make solid decisions every single time, then you're going to have a much better life and you're going to be able to accomplish a lot more. So let's take a look. The first thing is that we need to recognize the patterns. Scientific principles behind our decision-making process can really empower us to make proactive choices that help us move our life forward. There are a couple of strategies to sidestep familiar bad decision traps. And yesterday, I left you guys with a thought about limiting choices, which basically is reducing the number of options available so that you can streamline your decision-making process and make it less overwhelming. You can also curate options, like take a systematic approach to eliminate choices that don't align with your core values or long-term goals. Limiting options can enhance decisiveness and reduce anxiety. You can also set boundaries, define specific criteria for decision making. For instance, when considering a new job, define priorities such as salary, work-life balance, and location before comparing positions. And then you can create a decision-making framework, and that's what we're going to hyper focus on today. You can establish a clear framework or protocol for significant decisions. Like utilize a decision-making model, like a framework like UDA. UDA is awesome. UDA is an acronym for observe, orient, decide, and act. And this can really help you systematically evaluate choices while considering your inherent biases and emotions. Really, emotions more than anything else can wreak havoc when we're trying to make solid, practical decisions. The UDA framework was developed by the U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd in the late 1980s. Originally, it was conceived for military strategy and aerial combat. The UDA loop, which is observe, orient, decide, and act, as stated previously, provides a systematic approach to decision making, especially if it's a dynamic and competitive environment or type decision. Although its roots are in the military, the UDA framework has been widely adapted into business strategy and personal decision making and many, many other fields because it works. So what is it? The loop consists of 4 distinct phases. The observe phase is about gathering information, including relevant variables and potential threats as well. The orient phase is about analyzing the information and understanding the context, including your emotions, your personal biases, cultural factors, and your past experiences. The decision phase, or decide, is when you go into decision mode and you think of long-term impacts. Does the decision align with your values, your goals, your integrity, your reputation, and your overall life? You decide whether you need to make a decision right now. Make choices based on the information and insights that you obtained. Evaluate the possible actions available. Consider the pros and cons and choose the most appropriate course of action. In this phase, the decision-making phase, or decide, you should absolutely incorporate a cost-benefit analysis. This is hugely important in this step. This is how it can work. You can start with identifying all the costs. These are some of the things you should be looking at. So your direct costs. These are the explicit, tangible costs, such as money spent, time invested, resources utilized. And then there are the indirect costs that everyone seems to gloss over. And the indirect costs can really pile up because you're not paying attention to them. These are the less obvious and harder to quantify, but again, very significant. Some examples like the benefits that you are going to give up just by choosing one option over another. Think about that. What benefits that you currently experience or have the potential of experiencing are you going to have to let go of because you're choosing this option over the other option? Consider the stress, the strain on relationships as well if you make this decision in a certain way. Think about the long-term maintenance or future cost. Ask yourself, is this sustainable? Then identify and list the benefits, the direct benefits. These are very clear and measurable benefits that you'll receive as a result of your decision. Examples could be financial gains, increased income, increased savings, efficiency improvements like time saved, ease of execution, tangible outcomes like if we're talking about a new job or purchasing a home. Then there are the indirect benefits. These might include less quantifiable but still important factors, such as increased well-being. Whoa, that is hugely important. Improved mental health, greater work-life balance, opportunities for growth like skill development, networking, the long-term impacts like security, legacy building. All those are indirect benefits, but hugely important. As with cost, estimate the value of benefits, especially for qualitative factors, which means the quality of your life, how it improves the quality of your life. Even if you can't assign like a precise monetary value, try to be as specific as possible. Like, how important is your wellness? How important is it not to be stressed out based on the decision that you're making? How much stress is this going to bring to you? Or how much peace and harmony will it bring to you? How valuable is that to you? Think about it along those terms. How valuable is your peace of mind? How valuable is being stress-free or having a reduction in your stress? How valuable is it to have work-life balance? How valuable is it to be able to feel good about what you're doing? See what I'm saying? If you can, try to assign a monetary value to those things. And then quantify and compare costs and benefits. Like, for example, considering a job change, you might compare your current salary with the expected salary in the new job and estimate the travel costs for the new job. For the intangible factors, just estimate, like I said before, the impact based on your personal judgment, your past experiences, or research. If the benefit of a better work-life balance could reduce stress by X amount, then assign a value to that reduction. Again, how valuable is your health and peace of mind? Then do a net benefit calculation. Subtract the total cost from the total benefits. Very straightforward. If the result is positive and the benefits outweigh the cost, If it's negative, the costs outweigh the benefits. Consider non-monetary factors, like some benefits and costs may not be easy to quantify in financial terms, like happiness, reputation, and personal fulfillment, but can be so damaging if it goes the other way, right? Like, it could mean the end of your career if you make a really horrible decision. For those, just assign like a qualitative assessment or ranking as well. Like, you can say, being stress-free is high, it's high on my priority list, medium, low, whatever works. And then reflect on your personal values, your ethics, social considerations. Sometimes the value of an option isn't monetary, but personal or societal. But you can still put a number on it. You should also evaluate the risks and uncertainties. That is so important. Every decision involves some level of risk. It does. For instance, a potential benefit might be uncertain, or a cost might not materialize exactly as you predicted. Consider how the uncertainty affects the overall balance in your life. This could mean adjusting the estimates for certain benefits or costs, or using scenario planning, which we can talk about that tomorrow. That'll help evaluate how things could change under different circumstances. Like, what happens if a market downturn reduces your expected benefits? After completing the analysis, review your findings. Is the net benefit positive and substantial enough to justify the cost? Are there intangible benefits that outweigh the financial costs, or vice versa? Consider your priorities. Do the benefits align with your professional or personal values? If you have multiple options, you might compare the results of their individual cost-benefit analysis to choose the one with the highest net benefit. This is a really big topic, and so we're going to continue with this tomorrow, because there are a couple of other factors to really consider and a couple of other steps, especially as it pertains to cost and things of that, and benefits and things of that nature. And I really don't want to gloss over any of this, because it's so important. Because one of the best ways to finish strong this year and every year is by making better decisions. Decisions shape our lives, and so that's why it's important. Even though I truly believe no one is the sum of their past mistakes per se, but your life will reflect the good decisions you make, the great decisions you make, and the bad decisions you make. So we'll continue with this subject tomorrow. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode and all of my podcast episodes on my blog. And my web address is dothisfirst.life. And while you're there, you can sign up to my weekly newsletters. I have so many, and I keep adding more. And thanks, guys, for all the input. I really do appreciate it. And I really do read the emails and the little messages in the chat box. So that's why you've seen some changes with the newsletters that I'm offering. And while you're on my website, you can also listen to all of my other podcast episodes. And you can also sign up for my YouTube channel, and my handle there is at Do This First. Tomorrow, as stated, we are going to continue with our micro series of Finishing Strong by continuing with why we make bad decisions and learning how to make amazing decisions in this upcoming year. Till tomorrow. Moving past the